I might as well be accused of cannibalism because you have seen as much evidence for cannibalism as you have for abuse. Yet you have moved to dismiss me. And it is also clear that in the short time you spend considering our cases, you don't care. That you just look at it, rubber stamp it, and send it on. I don't really think that there's anything that I can say, or anyone would say, that would change your ways. I am sure that you know what you are doing is wrong and even evil. I've spoken personally to Dr. Vladovic, Mr. Zimmer, Mr. Kaiser, and Ms. Ratliff about the kangaroo court that you oversee here. Ms. Garcia has shown that she doesn't care much about teachers. So she supports whatever privateers want. Ms. Gallatin hates due process for teachers. And we do want to thank her for admitting that teachers are targeted by age. She said teachers in teacher jail get an average of $6,000 a month in wages. Anybody can look at the scale and see that that requires a couple of decades teaching, and therefore would mean senior teachers over 40. So she makes our case for us. Mr. Zimmer, I don't understand.
Thank you very much. Speaker number 8.
Hi there. I'm Greg Solkovitz. Usually I speak up here as secondary vice president of the UTLA, but today I'm speaking as an individual and a 34-plus year employee for the LAUSD. I'm here to ask you to, one, return Iris Stevenson to where she belongs, which is in the classroom at Crenshaw High School. But to understand that she's only emblematic of madness that I can only compare to the Salem witch trials. We went from one extreme, which was we didn't enforce district policy and allowed kids to be harmed because we just didn't follow our policies, to a situation where kids are now being damaged severely because of the overreaction, the lack of common sense, and a process we're using to go after teachers for whatever particular reason. One of my good friends, someone I worked with in Monroe High School for many years, who's currently chapter chair at Cortinas High School, was teaching 3 AP classes, is now sitting upstairs on the 11th floor because some AP who used to be an English teacher saw one of the projects his kids was doing taken out of a science fair book and decided that he was supervising the construction of a weapon, and so now we've got 3 classes of AP kids being hurt because he's sitting upstairs. We have a substitute in the classroom, and I think it's really important for you as trustees, and I'll be sending you a letter later today that outlines my specific thoughts as an individual, but we are spending probably millions of dollars in substitute wages, taking highly qualified teachers out of the classroom, while we allow a process to move forward that makes no sense. 3 or 4 years ago, UTLA and the district agreed there'd be a 120-day window to investigate situations. It doesn't take the police 120 days in most cases to finish our investigations, and yet we've got hundreds of teachers sitting here. Now, is every one of them innocent? Probably not, but I'd hazard a guess that the vast majority of them are. We're destroying careers, destroying reputations, and it makes no sense whatsoever. I will tell you as a union member and as a union officer, I don't think UTLA has handled this any better than the district has. We were slow to support these teachers. We were slow to say, hey, we need to do something about this, but I will tell you the union gets it now. I, as a longtime teacher, get the fact that we've got to stop this madness, but the only ones who can do it are at least 4 of you directing the superintendent and his staff to come up with a process that makes more sense. Once again, we want kids safe, but I don't want to see squandering your resources and destroying people's careers over a system we've allowed to go crazy. And again, Iris Stevenson belongs back at Crenshaw High School. Greg Schiller belongs back at Cortinas High School. And it's up to you all to do this because you're the elected representatives. You are the bosses. I'm just a longtime employee making enemies and friends wherever I go. back in history, and this is going to be like the Salem witch trial.
Thank you very
Your
much.
guys' backs, as well as ours. Thank you.
Thank you. Speakers behind. I'll get it, if you come forward.
Hi, my name is Caroline Long, and I am an organizer with BAM. We are the Coalition to Defend Affirmative Action, Integration, Immigrant Rights, and Fight for Equality by any means necessary. I'm here on behalf of Ms. Stevenson. She is the gem of the city and of Crenshaw High School.
Yes.
She has taken students to Korea, Japan, China, France, Switzerland, Kenya, Mombasa, Egypt, England, Spain, Monaco, Jamaica, and finally she took students to the White House. Ms. Stevenson brings out the best in everyone because she gets them to reach for the heights that they never thought that they could. She's the best of what public education has to offer. She draws out the students' creativity and individuality. She teaches them to think critically about the world and life. And instead of giving her the respect and accolades that she deserves, you are treating her like a criminal in teacher jail. Instead of holding up Crenshaw High School as a place to come to, if you want to be part of Dr. Stevenson's amazing choir and take trips like this, instead you attack Crenshaw. You reconstituted it last year. You eliminated a third of the teachers, some of the best teachers in the school, and you gave a building of it to the charter school and you installed the bank in there. In my opinion, why is this happening? Because she was an obstacle in your path, in your way to charterize or privatize the school. She was the head of the school site council and led the fight against the reconstitution last year. She's an obstacle in your path to your drive to militarize and turn Crenshaw into a prison. You say that the students in the inner city segregated schools need more discipline, they need police, they need uniforms, all of these things. The truth of the matter is, Dr. Stevenson proves that what you're trying to do is a lie, because she shows if you develop the students' individuality, you reach them at any student. She will take any student, no matter what their background, no matter where they're from, and she will bring the best out of them, and they achieve the heights they never thought they would. And she shows that that is the best of what public education has to offer. And because of this, she proves your method wrong, and because of you're trying to get rid of her, our reaction is that, Daisy, you need to go, specifically for trying to get rid of her, for specifically casting her as a criminal. This picture shows what she has gotten students to do. They're performing in front of the White House, in front of President Obama. That is something that none of them thought they'd ever have a chance to do. The students at Crenshaw are not taking this line down. They're organizing, they're fighting back. We've been doing petitioning. The students have been petitioning, wearing fuchsia ribbons to honor Dr. Stevenson and demand that she return. We will continue this campaign. This is going to become a PR nightmare for you, because truthfully, that was the White House picture of the day. That picture should have been on the LAUSD front page saying, it should have been on the front page of the Crenshaw website and say, look at what we've got.
Thank you. Wow. Speaker number 10.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
My name is Tracy Anderson. My daughter is Shalita White. She was one of the children that attended the last trip to France and the White House. She has also been to South Korea, France twice. I feel honored that my daughter was able to do this with Ms. Stevenson. I never dreamed that any of my kids will be able to go see different parts of the world. And I would like them to go experience that. It should be for all children. Amen. Ms. Stevenson worked hard with these kids. They practiced every day. She kept them out of trouble. And I feel she needs to be put back in the class so that she can work with other kids, keeping them out of trouble. These kids are our future. They're going to be taking care of us. And we need to put confidence into them that they can get out there and do good things instead of being steered in the wrong direction.
That's right.
I am a single parent of 2. My oldest one is in college, and she works. I want the same for my youngest. She's getting ready to graduate. She's already over 50 credits above what she needs to graduate. I work with my children. I'm there after school, seeing what's going on, helping them out. You know, I just need for Ms. Stevenson to come back so that she can continue to keep working with all children of all nationalities.
That's right.
She's had kids come out here from South Korea. Oh my God, it was so awesome to see those kids. They were so well behaved. I've never seen anything like that. And I wish our kids can be like that. They can learn from different cultures. They need to learn that it's just not one race. They need to know cultures of every different race so they can get along with everybody. And I feel it's an honor that LAUSD went to the White House to perform for President Obama. LAUSD has a bad rep right now, and we need to turn that around. You know, so that's all I have to say. We need Ms. Stevenson back.
Thank you. Speaker number 11.
Buenos días, presidente del board, miembros del board e invitados especiales. Mi nombre es María Daisy Ortiz y soy un padre.
My name is Maria Daisy Ortiz. I am a parent. Good morning, board members, board president, and all the guests here.
Estoy aquí porque ya están presentando los presupuestos en las escuelas
I am here because the budgets are being presented in the schools.
y les puedo asegurar que muchas de las escuelas ni siquiera revisaron su plan único
And I can assure you that many of the schools did not even review their single plan.
y pues también no hicieron la consulta adecuada
They
ni
did not.
tomaron en cuenta la toma de decisiones, ya que el presupuesto ya venía con posiciones ya compradas.
I believe that they didn't even make meaningful consultation because I believe that all the items in the budget were already purchased beforehand.
Y mi pregunta es, ¿cómo ustedes se asesoran que los padres están teniendo voz y participación si estos planes de las escuelas ni siquiera están traducidos?
And I want to know, how are you making sure that the parents are being able to be part of this decision making when none of this has even been discussed prior?
El dinero de participación de padres, el 7E046, ni siquiera lo desarrollan los padres porque no existe un comité de padres de título 1 y aquí tengo la copia del presupuesto, dice título 1 Parent Involved.
And the budget, 7E046, which is the parent involvement budget, which is Title I, I'm wondering how is it possible that this is even being done if the parents are not even involved?
Y la ley no le ha dado jurisdicción al school site a que desarrolle este presupuesto.
And the law
O al
has,
comité de gobierno que hay en algunas escuelas, como la mía.
and the authority has not been given to the school site council or to the governing council, such as has been happening in my school, to make these types of decisions.
En mi escuela ahora se presentó el presupuesto, no habían copias, se presentó en PowerPoint.
There was a PowerPoint presentation of the budget, and there were no copies of the budget.
La coordinadora dijo que con la nueva fórmula no necesitaban recomendaciones de los padres, nomás título 3 iba a recomendar y la cantidad era de 1,728.
That the only budget that there could be any recommendations made was for Title III, and there was only $1,800, but that they did not need recommendations for any of the others.
Y con este dinero ustedes piensan mejorar a este grupo que es el que por años ha estado rezagado.
And do you think that with this amount of money, they're going to be able to help these children, which are the ones that have been left behind?
En el presupuesto de participación de padres, la posición ya estaba comprada solo para la posición de Community Red. ¿Quién lo decidió?
Who decided that with this money for parent involvement, the only position that could be purchased was the community rep?
La posición es importante,
The position is important,
pero no hay dinero para conferencias para los padres,
but there's no money
talleres,
for,
gastos de comité, o sea, cuando vienen estos padres a los talleres para comprar un entrenador.
there is no money for the committee expenses, there is no money for the parents to be able to attend conferences, there is no money for the parents to be trained.
Y lo que le van a decir es que no hay dinero. ¿Y qué? Entonces los padres, ¿qué? ¿Cómo es que somos socios? ¿Cómo es que nos tratan? Si en realidad el single plan también se presentó en PowerPoint y sin ser traducido.
And how is it possible that the single plan was presented in a PowerPoint presentation, it was not translated, and how is it that you really want the parents to participate and be involved?
Y que lo habían desarrollado 3 personas, la coordinadora de título 3, la coordinadora de intervención y una maestra. Y la ley dice que la escuela desarrollará un plan con la ayuda de los padres. Eso dice la ley 1118. Entonces la ley, ¿ustedes la ignoran o no la leen?
Law 118 indicates that the parents need to be involved in the development of the plan, and how is it possible that only 3 staff members, the Title III coordinator, the intervention coordinator, and a teacher were the ones that developed this plan?
Por último, mi escuela el año antepasado bajó 14 puntos, el año pasado 33 puntos. Por eso estoy pidiendo la ayuda de todos ustedes para que ayuden en mi escuela. Y he pedido cita con usted, señor Kaiser, hasta el son de ahora no lo he recibido.
And Mr. Kaiser, I've requested an appointment with you and I have not received a response. How is it possible that my school's scores have gone down 14 points in the years past, 33 points, and I'm not receiving the help that I need for my school?
Porque los procesos que se usan en la escuela todavía no son los adecuados. Y yo por eso estoy pidiendo ayuda. La señora Iliana Dávalo está haciendo un gran trabajo, pero yo no solo quiero asegurarme que solo ella lo haga. Quiero saber que a ustedes les importan las escuelas.
Ms. Davalos is
Y mi escuela.
Ms. Davalos is actually helping us, but we need your help, we need your support. Our school needs your support, and I've been here in previous times to ask for this support.
Y lo más insultante es que los iPads que según ordenaron todavía no los recibe la escuela. Entonces, ¿cómo hicieron eso? Yo quisiera que el superintendente diera la cara y dijera cómo hizo una decisión cuando las escuelas, muchas escuelas, no están recibiendo los iPads a tiempo y van a tomar los exámenes eso. Pero como siempre sacrifican a nuestros niños y no les importa.
And I would like for the superintendent to show his face. How is it possible that all this money was spent on the iPads? The iPads aren't even at the schools. How is it possible that the children are going to be taking this new test when these iPads haven't even been given? It's an insult.
Le agradeceré mucho, señor Kaiser, que visite mi escuela para que pueda apoyarla mejor. Gracias.
And Mr. Kaiser, I would appreciate that you would visit our school so that you could better support it. Thank you.
Honors, we have one last speaker, speaker number 12. Sí.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Karina López. Felicidades, señor Dr. Richard Bladovic, nuestro presidente.
Good afternoon.
Me siento muy orgullosa.
Good afternoon. My name is
Karina López Zúñiga.
Karina Lopez Zúñiga. Congratulations, Dr. Vladovic, and greetings.
Sí. Señorita Ratliff, nosotros apoyamos mucho con el periódico La Educación. Bienvenida.
Ms. Radcliffe, welcome. We support you with the newspaper, The Education.
Bueno, estoy muy contenta, señor Bladovic. Entonces, hoy me siento más tranquila en traer las preocupaciones que van a ser realmente escuchadas.
I believe that being here, Mr. Vladovic, congratulations again. My concerns will be listened to.
La nueva fórmula, la verdad, tiene muchas inconsistencias.
The new formula has many inconsistencies.
Efectivamente, tenemos buenos administradores,
We do have effective administrators,
pero la mayoría, obviamente, que no está haciendo lo mismo.
but obviously not all of them are doing the same thing.
Al cederle la autoridad,
In giving them the authority,
vamos a aprobar inconsistencia.
we are going to approve this inconsistency.
Y hoy día estoy aquí para mostrarle esta inconsistencia.
And I am here to show you today these inconsistencies.
Hay una escuela que es high school, no recuerdo el nombre, pero el señor Kaiser tiene una cita pendiente con una mamá que se llama Carmen Ríos.
I don't know the name of the high school, but Mr. Kaiser has an appointment at that particular high school with Mrs. Rios, a parent.
Hoy mismo también le volvieron a llamar.
And he was called today again regarding this.
Espero que tenga respuesta del señor Kaiser.
I hope there is a response from Mr.
La señora se
Kaiser.
llama Carmen Ríos.
Her name is Carmen Rios.
Bueno, este director me voy a enfocar en las cosas buenas,
And I'm going to focus on the good things about this principal.
porque si digo las cosas que están mal, no voy a acabar.
Because if I start talking about the bad points, I'll never finish.
Entonces, este administrador de apellido Velasco
This administrator, last name Velasco,
está haciendo un excelente trabajo.
is doing an excellent job.
Está viendo un problema muy grande,
There is a very big problem.
que el Distrito Escolar Unificado de Los Ángeles no sé qué está haciendo ahí con este director,
And I don't know what the LA Unified School District is doing there with this principal.
que de la noche a la mañana ya no está.
That from one day to the next, he was no longer there.
Porque hay un desacuerdo
Because there's a disagreement
con maestros que son blancos.
with teachers who are white.
Y el director es hispano.
And the principal is Hispanic.
Este director de apellido Velasco
This principal, last name Velasco,
y su asistente o coordinadora, la señorita Cervantes, están siendo amenazados.
Ms. Cervantes, either his vice principal or coordinator, are being threatened.
Ellos tienen mucho miedo.
They're very scared.
Yo quiero que por favor, yo les pido a ustedes que visiten esta escuela. Hoy a las 2 de la tarde hay una reunión en esta high school.
There is going to be a meeting at this high school today at 2 o'clock. I'm asking you to please visit the school.
Y qué curioso que la mayoría de la población de estos estudiantes son hispanos.
And how funny it is that the major population of this school is Hispanic,
Y estos maestros que están en desacuerdo son blancos.
and that the teachers who are in disagreement are white,
Y el director es hispano.
and the principal is Hispanic.
Su trabajo de este director es sobresalir a nuestros estudiantes.
And the job that this principal wants to do is for our students to excel.
Eso le queda de ejemplo que cuando hay administradores buenos, ¿qué pasa?
And this is just to give you the example, when there's a good administrator, what happens?
Cuando se le cede la nueva fórmula autoridad sobre el presupuesto a un director que quiere realmente cumplir,
When the authority about this new formula is given to the principal who truly wants to comply,
esto es lo que pasa.
this is what happens.
¿Y quién son los perjudicados? Nuestros estudiantes.
And who's jeopardized? Our students.
En esta escuela se están organizando y levantando firmas, obviamente lo vamos a apoyar,
In this school, we are signing petitions, we're collecting signatures.
Porque
and we're
yo me
going to
atrevo a
support
decir-
him, because I dare to say,
que es discriminación para nuestra comunidad hispana,
because I think this is discrimination against our Hispanic community.
solo por hacer progresivo académico.
Because we want to progress academically.
Vamos a investigar cuántos niños aprendices de inglés de largo plazo
We're going to find out how many long-term English
existen en
learners
esta escuela,
exist in this school,
en nuestro distrito,
in our district,
y vamos a proceder legalmente.
and we are going to proceed legally.
Señor Blado.